Welcome to the Sci-Fi Guys. Actually, it's not my day, as you guys saw earlier. We are going to be talking to John. This is just a new segment we're trying out called Getting to Know These Sci-Fi Guys. So you won't be seeing my face on here too much longer. Mostly just be John. I'm going to ask John some questions. Yeah, you can see his eyes. He's like, oh no. We're just going to ask some questions and just we'll go from there. How about it? How you doing today, John?
Doing just fine. How about you, Dave?
I'm doing pretty well. I got my internet back. We just had a
Yeah,
big
we
storm
both weathered
here.
a storm.
Yeah, yeah. I lost power for like 3 hours. And here's the funny story: I'm hooking my generator up to my house. Plug it in. It's running. I go inside to flip the circuit breaker so I can go ahead and run it, and the power comes back on.
Yeah, Maddie and I both were like, that sounds just like Dave's luck somehow.
So who knows? All right, let me put you up here and let me ask you some questions. Okay, first off, what's your favorite movie?
All right, so see, my problem with favorite movie is I have a lot of qualifiers. We'll say top of all time is the painting you see over here, somewhat. Up, my wife and I both love the movie Up. We cherish it, especially because of the opening 8 minutes, but also it's just a really funny film when I watched the first time. Favorite movie as a kid, Toy Story. Favorite sci-fi movie, probably Star Wars. And then my favorite movie that ever made me cry, Good Will Hunting. So I'll give you a few answers there, but top of top, definitely Up. And so you can kind of go from there on the others.
Okay. All right. So give me one or two of your favorite cartoons from your childhood.
And see, just as difficult. If we go, but like watched every day after school, Cyber Chase, which ironically enough, sci-fi with education incorporated, so that was great. And then of course, I always loved watching anything with superheroes, even if it was like I believe it was Captain Planet, um, all the way down to your typical Marvel, DC cartoons. I loved watching any of those old Transformers. I mean, give me any of it. I really watched as a kid.
Okay. So what TV series or movie franchise would you like to see rebooted?
All right. I would love to see a lot of things if they could match their former glory. I think the difficulty is a lot of times when things get rebooted, they don't match their former glory. One of the things I would love to see match its former glory, the Twilight Zone. I know they already rebooted that once, but I don't think it necessarily matched the same mystery as the old series. Because man, you watch some of those old series, and man, the Twilight Zone still grabs your attention and holds on to it for a good ride. So I would love to see that rebooted correctly. I would also love to see, and it kind of is happening, the Star Wars universe fleshed out a little bit more, but they're not fleshing out as much of the parts that I would love to see as I've gotten older and seen some of the behind the scenes canon, as it were. I would love to see more of Luke and his era as trainer for sure.
All right. So how about this? What TV series are you watching right now?
All right. So that's widened over the summer because as a teacher, that doesn't I don't have as much time during the school year, so I've kind of caught up on several shows. Currently watching Sunny, which is about it's an Apple TV Plus series about a little robot um, and some mystery behind its creation. It's pretty good. Uh, the kids and I have started to watch Doctor Who together. And so I'm going back and watching old episodes, trying to catch up to where they're at now and see what twists and turns they took along the way. And then several series that are just kind of my go to, turn my brain off, including Drive to Survive, about F1, whatever the NASCAR version of that is, also watching it. And then several YouTubers sprinkled in there that play games, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, here, let's have a couple of fun ones for you. If you could have only one fast food restaurant for the rest of your life, what would it be? And when I say fast food, it has to have a drive-through.
See, the drive through is the kicker. So, realistically, if we're going fast food to fast food, if we have to go national chain, I'm going Zaxby's. If we have to go local chain, I'm going Zacadoo's. And Zacadoo's trumps Zaxby's in my mind, but people don't know what Zacadoo's is. So if you think of Chick fil A, and you smash that together with Zaxby's chicken in terms of taste, you have our local Zackadoos. And to me, it is a perfect combo of both of those flavors. They're not quite as expensive as either of those. And overall, I would eat either one of those for the rest of my life. Zackadoos, especially because they have a huge variety: burgers, chicken, wraps, even teriyaki bowl s thing, breakfast. So I could survive off of Zackadoos. Um, Otherwise, I just love chicken so much I could do with Zaxby's. I would say Chick-fil-A based on customer service, but honestly, their chicken just isn't my top favorite. Their customer service trumps a lot, but again, Zaxby's or Zackadoos.
Okay, so give us a fun fact about you.
All right, so this one trips people up a lot. So I'm going to give the fact, then I'm going to explain the fact. The fun fact is, I am my own great uncle legally. The legally is the important part because my great grandparents adopted me when I was 10. Kind of grew up with them a lot. Even when I was a baby, my grandmother would watch me around the time of school age. They really kind of took over care, and then they adopted me when I was 10. Well, if I'm adopted by my great grandparents, then I'm my great grandparents' son. That would make me my grandpa's brother through adoption. And if I'm my grandpa's brother, whoever is my grandpa's brother is my great uncle, and therefore I am my own great uncle. That one's a real fun one to throw out. Um, I get a lot of funny looks with it, which I mean, fair because people are like, you know, it's kind of odd, but you throw adoption in there and it makes a lot more sense. So that's my simple fun fact. The other one is, well, not so simple fun fact. My simple fun fact is I'm left-handed and only in eating and writing. Everything else I'm right-handed.
My mind is blown now with what you just said about being your own.
As it should be. It really throws people off, but it's great for two truths and a lie.
That is great. Okay, so what is your ideal vacation?
Send me to the mountains. And particularly, I think I now would rather vacation to the Appalachians. I've seen both the Appalachians and the Rocky. The Rocky are great for their beauty, not so much for the relaxing per se. They're a little harder to get to the top of, and a lot more rocky, which ironically, considering their name. But Appalachia, give me a nice, cool fall up there right before winter hits and there's any chance of snow, a good cabin, a good book, some games, some family around, and you have my ideal vacation, which we did kind of take this past summer, but that was summer. It's a little too hot. So you push that to the fall. I'm a very, very happy man.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you married? Do you have kids? Your occupation?
So as we talked about this, obviously I mentioned my wife when talking about up. So I am married, and my wife and I actually met back in the 8th grade. So somewhere around, well, we met in the 7th grade, somewhere around 2011. Started dating somewhere 2011, 2012 in 8th grade. And we've been dating ever since, which is why I count the middle school years because goodness knows otherwise you really couldn't. Got married in our right after our senior year of college. And so after getting married, I started teaching, and she worked her way towards her master's in library science. And so she now is also working in the library at the school I teach at. And so it's great. It's wonderful. We love all of that. Uh, love the kids we serve. And as a part of loving the kids we serve, my wife and I both actually foster now. And so we have 4 children in our home. Uh, one, well, one 7-year old, one 6-year old, one 4-year old, and now we have also taken in another 7-month old. In regards to information, that's about as far as I can give. But 2 boys, 2 girls, a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of crazy, as it is with any children. But they definitely added kiddos into our life 24/7, which is a lot different than having them at school and sending them home. So we've had a lot to learn because this is our first go around with parenting, and it is fostering. So that's an interesting combination, but it's what we felt God called us to, especially since job number 2 for me is children's pastor here at a local church. And so we enjoy all the elements that includes, trying to do our best to serve in the way we felt called. And overall, that's where we land.
That's way cool. Hey, we had a crossover episode a while back with some other guys, and we asked this question there: if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
So I think I may have changed my mind from that crossover episode. I'm not real sure what I said. And it'll also come in handy answering a couple of questions you had for me later. And that is, I think I would like the superpower to like mimic other superpowers. And I don't know how that works out in comic book world, but I mean, if it's just I can copy any power anytime, maybe it's just I'm limited to that one power. By all means, fine. But just the ability to mimic someone else's superpower and that kind of gets you all of them. Because normally I'm kind of like, I would like to read minds or I'd love to fly just because I love flying. But I think mimicry would be awesome.
Okay, and then the last question here in this segment: who is your favorite X-Men? Whether it be in the comics, the TV, movies, whatever.
All right, so this one's difficult for me, both because there are a lot of X-Men and my knowledge is more limited about the series. Not extremely, because I've seen a lot of the stuff that's out there, but like enough. However, I think my favorite classic follows what my superpower would be, and that's mimic. I just think it's a nice, neat little superpower. And truthfully, I'm not going to lie, I don't know if he was a jerk or not and what he appeared in. So I may not go that route for that. But overall, for the superpower alone, they'd be my favorite. But after seeing Deadpool 3, I think my new favorite X Men would have to be Gambit. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Uh, Channing kind of came in hot in that role, and he kind of did a wonderful job. And the number of memes alone that I've seen online have made him my new favorite, hands down, no questions asked.
Okay, yeah, you kind of broke up there a little bit. Can you repeat that last thing you just said, just about Gambit?
So he just came in hot on Deadpool 3, and Channing Tatum did such a good job, and he's my new favorite, hands down, no questions asked.
Okay, great, great. All right, these are going to be rapid fire. All right, so just spit them out as you get them. Okay, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox because I own one.
Okay, Marvel or DC?
Marvel movies, DC Comics,
Harry Potter
and
or Lord of the
characters.
Rings?
Oh, overall, Harry Potter. We're a Harry Potter household.
Okay, beach or the mountains?
All right, based off of my vacation answer, definitely mountains. Too much sand at the beach.
Okay, cake or pie?
Pie, apple.
Mexican or Italian food?
I'm fat, so yes. Probably go Mexican more often than not.
Okay, since we're on the food, hamburgers or hot dogs?
Okay, hamburgers just because of variety.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars only because it's what I know most.
Okay, would you rather watch movies or a TV series?
TV series just because you can flesh stuff out more in the world.
Okay, and would you rather have a lightsaber or a phaser?
Lightsaber, cut through anything. It's great.
All right. The last question is what we're going to close out with. Either a movie or a TV show that you're most looking forward to watching.
Right now, just because of what we do on the podcast, I definitely think I'm looking forward to kind of heading more into the Terminator series because y'all have talked that one up substantially, and I'm also excited to see anything Star Trek related because again, that's a world I haven't really dove into much, and there's enough people that like it that it's definitely good. I just don't know enough about it to know enough about it. So definitely looking forward to catching some of that stuff as we go too.
Oh, great. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, John. We try to keep this real short, keep it less than 15 minutes. Just got for you guys can contact us at these sci-fi guys on all the social media networks. You can email us, these sci-fi guys at gmail.com. And with that, both we're going to say our going out is crash and
Crash
burn.
and burn.